Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. Once again, I'm Imtiaz Gul with another edition of the Think Tank Talk. Today's talk deals with Afghanistan, the next door neighbor of Pakistan. It has been a problem for over 4 decades, sort of a headache also for Pakistan. It has brought a lot of problems into Pakistan, but it also has a lot of synergies, a lot of commonalities, common border, common ethnicity. And that's why Pakistan remains very much engaged with Afghanistan, regardless who rules it, just because of the next door proximity. Now, to flesh out this issue, today we have with us Ambassador Asif Durrani, meanwhile Special Envoy for Afghanistan. After so many years of diplomacy, now he has finally been crowned with this prestigious title, that is the Special Representative. And he has joined that club of special representatives of different countries for Afghanistan. Ambassador, thank you very much.
Thank you, Imtiaz.
And it's always a pleasure to see you. I see your smiling face. So can you, with this smiling face, explain the mission as the special representative for Afghanistan?
I smile because of 2 reasons. One is I thank God that somehow this responsibility has been bestowed upon me. But second, I smile because it's a humongous challenge. And we are facing Afghanistan since 1979 actually as a front. This has become a second front in Pakistan. And there have been highs and lows, we all know that. And during this, you have had 2 superpowers. One was Soviet Union, which entered Afghanistan. And then we faced the influx of close to 4.5 million refugees. They are still there, almost in strength, almost 3 million. Once they left, and it was barely just a decade that we had 9/11. And then we had the United States for close to 2 decades. And in these 2 decades, this is considered to be the United States' longest war ever in its history. So, but for the Afghans, this was not a new invasion. We call it legitimate war because it had the UN approval. When 9/11 happened, I was posted in New York, so I could see how America changed altogether. So right now, these are the challenges. So I'm praying to Allah to help me.
Challenge is humongous.
And I hope that my friends, they will also help me in finding out the way.
You have all the support of your friends in this humongous challenge. But it seems the world never really understood Afghanistan the way it is. And there was this attempt to impose the Westminster model, the Western notions of democracy and nation building on Afghanistan. Would you agree with this characterization of the problem? That's why it took us quite a while to get to a peace agreement?
Democracy, well, it is a very attractive term for everyone. But the ground realities sometimes do not support the democratic order as we understand from the Western perspective. You have to see the ground realities. It's a heavily tribal society. It is conservative. From any angle you find it is conservative. Even from the regional perspective. In Pakistan we have conservative people, but in Afghanistan you find more. So that is there. And then it has been either it was a monarchy or then it was ruled by the communists, and then it faced civil war conditions. After 9/11, democracy was introduced in Afghanistan, but their leaders, if you can say, those who came, they themselves did not have the political standing. This is also a reality. And there was no political process allowed in Afghanistan, whether it was during monarchy or onwards. You may have seen that Afghan Ulusi Jirga was on non-party basis. The presidential elections were held on non-party basis. So result was that when Taliban entered Kabul on 15th August 2021, there was no political resistance. Forget about the military. Everyone left.
But do you think that the world now understands Afghanistan a little better and that Afghan people need more compassion?
I wish they understand it better, but it doesn't appear like that, because they have dealt Afghanistan during the crisis period. Afghanistan has not been allowed to run on its own. Whether it was during Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, so you had the Mujahideen resistance, and then afterwards when the American and the coalition partners came, whether it was ISAF or later on by NATO, so they had to deal with the Taliban. So resistance was there. On its own, Afghanistan did not have the opportunity to evolve its own system. Whatever system you want to. I am no one to comment on that, because I have no right to comment on it, because they have their own system. Let them evolve their own system. We have examples elsewhere in the world. There are monarchies, there are dictatorships, but the world is dealing with them.
So anything externally imposed doesn't really work?
It will not work. It has never worked.
And would you say that the world right now needs to look at Afghanistan more compassionately, given its peculiar socio-cultural context?
If they are not compassionate to the ruling dispensation in Afghanistan at the moment, so at least they have to be compassionate with the people. If the UN statistics are correct, almost 95% people are below the poverty line. And they can become a liability. They can become a special liability for Pakistan if the economic situation deteriorates. So their first port of call would be Pakistan.
So that's what I wanted to ask. So the legitimate concerns of Pakistan arising from an unstable Afghanistan.
I think it is not only Pakistan. Yes, we have a peculiar circumstance. I will explain it a little bit later. But Afghanistan has 6 neighbors. They are all concerned because they want stability along their border. You had recently Iran and Afghan, they had some skirmishes. Uzbeks have some problems, Tajiks have some problems, because Afghanistan is still not stable enough. But it needs stability, and all immediate neighbors, they want stability in Afghanistan. And we are part of it. And we will be impacted more because we have the divided ethnicities on both sides of the border. Other countries don't face like this. For instance, Iran, except for Baloch, they don't have other common ethnicities there. But Baloch in the Neighbours province is a very small number, touching with the Iran and Balochistan. Then Turkmens, Uzbeks, and Tajiks. Well, they have Turkmens, Uzbeks, and Tajiks inside Afghanistan. Culturally, they don't affiliate with each other. They have lived in the communist era. They have different outlook as compared to the Turkmens, Uzbeks, and Tajiks here. Same is the case with China. China does not have any common ethnicity. So, but it is only Pakistan, which is why that you have 30 to 40,000 Afghans, they straddle Pakistani border every day without visa. We have to manage it, whichever dispensation comes. We have to manage it. And we have managed it throughout the history of our 76 years relationship with Afghanistan. We were managing this border.
And will continue to manage.
There's no other option. I mean, there's no other option because we have to. And somehow we have to be innovative. We have to improve the connectivity. We have to improve economic conditions. Economic conditions actually drive everything. And we have to concentrate on improving the economy, not only in Pakistan, but with our Afghan brothers and sisters.
How is Pakistan now going about this recognition issue? You know, this is, every nation is hamstrung by that.
Will not, still I cannot say it, but at the moment no country in the world has recognized it. Even if we recognize, so what impact?
I'm asking a different question, that because of this non-recognition, a number of nations are hamstrung, those who would like to support.
I wish if they were looking at us, then we would have decided either way. But I think it is, it would be, a decision by the major countries, especially P5. They are looking towards that. If the permanent 5 members of the Security Council, they do either way, so that will have an impact.
Now the highest level contact between the Taliban leaders and the Qatari leaders, do you think that's a sliver of hope for?
Well, I've read it in the newspapers. I'm not sure. I'm looking for more details. So I can't comment. I'm not in a position to comment at the moment.
No, but you think now the world may have come around the point of engagement?
It is not the world. It's Mullah Abdullah Khan, actually. He is reclusive. He doesn't meet the people. Otherwise, the world is in touch with the Taliban regime. There are 21 embassies in Kabul which are functioning, not at the ambassadorial level. And in Doha, another 16 embassies, they are in direct contact, including the United States. So they are in contact. But at the political level, at the moment, no, it is not. If the Qatari Prime Minister, he has visited Kandahar, and if he has actually met it, that would be I cannot comment on them, but if at all it has happened, then it should be taken as a positive development.
There are a lot of expectations of Pakistan in Afghanistan. Do you think Pakistan is doing enough to cope with those expectations? It's largely humanitarian assistance, economic assistance, trade, bilateral trade.
So Pakistan has been contributing, whether it is scholarships, whether it is health sector, education sector, infrastructure. We are doing that. So that we are doing, but within our limited resources. The world was there. United States has been the largest donor, and it is still a largest donor, despite the fact that they have no relationship. Right now, they are dispersing it through the UN or other INGOs. But actual impact comes that when the government, sitting government, starts delivering. So we have to look for the existing government in Afghanistan, how it delivers.
Well, that's an arduous task, and it's not easy situation. As you said, the buck may stop at Kandahar, where the top Taliban leadership is sitting, including Mullah Hibatullah Akhund. We wish you good luck with your difficult mission, but one would hope and pray that this mission takes the relationship between the two countries somewhere. Thank you very much.